Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to another Challenger Spectate. Again, reminding people, last episode, this episode, and maybe even the next video, potentially on Challenger Spectates. There's not anything I can do about it, because again, I know people are probably going to still moan a little bit about it, but my server that I play on, the ranked series, everything, the server is currently down of me recording. It's been down now for, I had a little bit of a break between recording last video and this one, just to see if it would come up. So it's been down for over 2.5 hours, I'd say, by now. Again, I'm talking to rioters in our LPP Discord, and there is no sign of it coming up. So they don't know. So I'm just recording, so I have the content. Hopefully you guys don't mind that. And, you know, I think it's, considering a lot of YouTubers would probably not record or, like, upload anything, because they're like, can't record. I'm trying my best. I'm still trying to get you guys educational content that we can learn from. And today, we're watching, again, roughly top 10 Challenger on EU Northeast. There's only about 10 people in Challenger currently on EU Northeast. We're watching Rumble. So the reason for Rumble is we're watching Rumble mid. He's against an Ekko. Now, I think most of us probably agree that Ekko is in a very strong place in League of Legends right now. So I was kind of interested to see, one, how does Rumble do in modern-day League of Legends? Because you do not see many of them. But secondly, how does he deal with an Ekko, right? Like, Rumble can get pretty tanky. He's got high DPS, but can he hold an Ekko? Can he control an Ekko? Because a big thing that a lot of like champions like Ekko, is the same with Katarina, is they can try to win lane. But a lot of these champions' strength you'll always see is roaming. Can a Rumble have enough pressure to stop an Ekko roaming? I don't even know. So by the way, he's gone E level 1, which is pretty standard. He just doesn't want to take a level 1 fight with an Ekko, apparently. So he's just going for that ranged damage, occasionally last hitting, avoiding the big fight, which is a good idea. But I lost my track of thought. Oh, yeah, he's going to electrocute. That might surprise some people, and to be honest, it kind of surprises me. But if that isn't an inkling to, like, modern-day League of Legends, I don't know what is. A champion like Rumble, who is not a burst champion, is running a burst rune page. Because that's what electrocute is. Electrocute is a burst rune page, right? So even I was a bit surprised by that. Normally, you see Rumbles. I think the most common one that I've seen is Arcane Comet. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So Ekko, so far not being any kind of crazy aggressive on the Rumble. They're both trying to coexist in the lane. But Rumble is currently half farm roughly to the Ekko. But by the time he gets this stuff, he should catch up a little bit here or there. But obviously he has to deal with the early Dane, tower, and minion combo, which is not always the most easy thing to do. So Rumble's going to try and maintain his heat. Ekko's going to go back, maybe to go buy a Dark Seal if I had to guess. Or he just looked to get some vision down. So he just got some vision down. He's returning to mid. So the thing with Rumble, much like what we saw last game with the Camille, Rumble isn't exactly an early game champion. He is definitely a mid to late game champion. Wouldn't really call him a hyper carry as such. Meanwhile, they're looking for the Kha'Zix. He is being found out. Kha'Zix and the Riven hoping a fight. Rumble with a nice flank on. Ekko's now on his way. Does make it. 3v1 on the Ekko so far. No one's dead at all. Can they get the Ekko kill? You probably have to flash away any second. There he goes. And that'll be the fight. So advantage definitely for red team. They haven't got a kill so far. Camilla's seeing if she can get it, but probably not. But overall, not too bad. But you are starting to see, yeah, Rumble is willing to not be in lane phase 24/7. If Rumble got that early kill there, that would have helped his lane tremendously well. But unfortunately for him, he blew the ignite, and he doesn't end up getting a kill. So that sucks, but still advantage red team. The Scuttle Crab, the Nidalee got, and now Nidalee gets control over the next Scuttle Crab. You're even seeing Rumble go over this area just to probably get some vision down on the enemy jungle. So this is good team play. Not incredibly convinced Rumble should be where he is right now. If Kha'Zix were to come here, then Kha'Zix will be on him, and even Ekko could probably early rotate and will get there pretty fast. So I not convinced that would be fine, but they're now looking for a gank on the Ekko with then the Nidalee. But if I'm completely honest, whoa, aggressive, questionable play. Not really sure what that's about, but hopefully they can get the kill. Ekko, obviously worth noting, has teleport. So he's probably trying to get as far away as he can from the Rumble, and he's most likely going to either try to execute or TP away, or just use his mobility to get away. So he's up in there, you can see the minimap. He's about to execute, and he will be executed. So still not bad from the Rumble, but that aggression just came out of nowhere. You know, again, one of the most annoying things with Ekko is his high damage, but is his survivability. You know, he's got a really good dash that goes over walls every few seconds. Then when you also factor in when he hits level 6, that's even more survivability. Yeah, seeing that aggression was a bit surprising, if I'm completely honest, but it happened, I guess. Blasting one first item for Rumble. That is not something that also I'd expect, so I'm getting surprised a little bit this game so far, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that I'm not used to, but electrocute, high aggression playing on Rumble. Normal Rumbles do not play this aggressive in the early game, but it is quite cool to see. And again, we are obviously on EU Northeast, which isn't... It's not the same caliber, I guess, as EU West, but they're still good players. Like, I think that's one thing we do need to make clear. These players are still pretty good. You know, I have known people on EU West that I think the best I've known, or the biggest thing that I would say, is a guy was a main EU West player. He was a low diamond EU West player. Was like, oh, I'm going to go try out EU Northeast, and he got in Grandmaster on EU Northeast. So that is a little bit telling if that can happen. But these players in Challenger or EU Northeast, yeah, they definitely be high diamond players, at least on EU West. Like they would be. They're good players. And to be fair, if you want to make the comparison, server quality a lot of the time is what a lot of people say is a player population. The more population, the better the server will be, because there's just a lot more abundance of skill on the server when there's more players. EU Northeast, actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, has more players than North America. So it might put EU Northeast around the North American level, or, you know, in the rough area. Meanwhile, Rumble, again, aggressive playstyle. He's invading by himself at the time on a Kha'Zix's red. I'm a little bit weirded out by this playstyle. I don't know if Rumble can actually go back into lane by himself in the way he wants to. And with all the roaming, by the way, the Ekko has actually got XP advantage. He should turn to do a bit of damage, get the electrocute proc, burn damage. You can see how much damage a Rumble can do. Nidalee is a little bit in trouble. Rumble ultimate coming through. Nidalee goes straight into Ekko ultimate, which again we can't see because the replay bug. And then the wonderful Ekko gets himself, well, probably would have been 2 kills, but Kha'Zix just picks up the second one. But that was very questionable play from Red Team. Riven trying her best and is going to get the kill. Camille just doesn't flash. So that's the type of thing. With that, obviously these are just like sole instances, but this is Challenger that we're watching. That Camille should have flashed. Like, that wasn't a hard thing to predict Riven was going to go for, so I'm very surprised Camille didn't flash that at all. But Rumble now returning with a Amp Tome. So again, just died, below on farm, is against an Ekko that does a lot of damage. No survivability. Going pure all-in damage. So again, remember, we're watching this video for a reason. I know obviously the score that Rumble does, but I don't know how he gets there. And it should be quite an interesting game, especially now that the early game is going bad for Red Team. They are behind. It's 3-0 right now in kills. They are over 1,000 gold behind already. And you do have scary champions on the enemy team. You've got a Kha'Zix, you've got an Ekko, arguably Riven, even though she's not, I'd say, the scariest thing. But then the one thing you do have going for you is you have Vayne, they have Draven. So in bot lane, you're seeing Draven is winning lane, as you'd expect. But there is no real comparison between a Vayne and a Draven late game. If a Vayne gets the late game, the scaling difference is absolutely astronomical between those two champions. And, you know, Draven can still get kills, but if you leave a Vayne alone, there's just going to be a big difference. Rumble nearly walking into the stun, is getting over half health. Is he in trouble? He blows the ultimate, and now look at the damage return back. Unfortunately for him, Kha'Zix is in the area. No vision for the Rumble. That is useful, and he will die again. 0-2 Rumble. The one big negative I've always seen as Rumble as a champion, lack of mobility. If you have a bad game on Rumble, you're just going to die. Worth also noting, obviously, we mentioned in the episode previous, Camille is the best top laner probably in the game right now. So even though the Riven did well in that instance, where arguably she shouldn't have, nice dodge by the Camille there. Oh, she survives just... And that ends up being an okay situation. Yes, it does, so there we go. Dragon is being done, though. That's good by the Kha'Zix, because he sees... you know, top lane, enemy junglers there. So let's do the dragon. That's just smart, kind of basic play of League of Legends. Rumble spotting a ward. Ekko trying to do his best to stop that happening, but isn't going to deter the Rumble. He knew he could get that, and he will return it to mid. So the mid farm is quite big, actually, now. close to a 20 farm gap. Maybe Rumble can catch it up a bit now because we do not know where Ekko is. He could be ganking bot lane. You know, the one thing I would say with the Draven Vayne matchup, you probably do want to try and get the Draven some kills, especially in the early game when the Draven hasn't died. His passive is going to be ramping up, which is a big gold, obviously. That's what he gets. The more axes he catches, he gets more gold when he eventually gets a kill. Meanwhile, Alistar in the area, we don't know what Ekko is. Ekko could be, now he's back in mid, he could have been in there, and that's what I think they were hesitant about. I think they thought he was in that area. But it turns out he wasn't. And right now you do have to be a bit scared. Ekko has his mythic complete. Rumble does not. So I would wager the Ekko is going to try and look for some type of aggression play because you need, as a player, to use your power spikes. That is what a lot of, especially in League of Legends now, where items are so important. When you have a completed item versus someone that doesn't, you need to use that advantage. So they're going to get the kill on Alistar. That's a good situation. Rumble ultimate doesn't hit anything, or it might have hit the Draven, but doesn't hit the Alistar, so no assist. Ekko does stay in mid, is going to get himself another tower plate, and Rumble does come back in. Still a level down is the Rumble over the Ekko. But can this game be an okay recovery for Rumble? So the one thing the Rumble definitely has got going for him this game, if you look at the enemy comp, they are very melee orientated. Even Draven, arguably, he is a low range AD carry. So you have Riven melee, Kha'Zix melee, Ekko melee, Alistar melee. So later in the game, in these kind of huddling team fights, even just small skirmishes, the enemy team, in order to do pretty much anything, has to be on top of you or, you know, in melee range. And you're going to be in melee range or huddled together versus a Rumble. So that's one thing to say is they've got going for them. They are going to go aggressive. They Rumble through the Ignite on, so that means the Ekko doesn't heal as much from his ultimate as he normally would, but with his mobility and his ultimate combined, he will get away. Bot lane, nope, they are coming in. Don't think the blue team fully noticed that what was happening above them. Rumble gets one kill, and now the Ekko's in trouble. He doesn't have much mana, but he has enough to use his E again, and the Kha'Zix does get a nice assassination from behind that the Lulu just got wiped out, I guess, with the stealth of Kha'Zix. Rumble going to try and return to lane. Probably should be a little bit careful about it because you don't know fully, you know, where people are, but he's probably got quite a lot of confidence just to walk back to lane at least. Like, he's like, they're not going to stay around for this. So he's coming back to lane, is catching up that farm, by the way, which is good. Camille does get a solo kill on the Riven, by the way, under the tower. So that's a tower dive. So how top lane has turned, and that is just simply champion difference. Camille arguably is just a way stronger version of Riven, to be honest. And also, notably, item difference. Power Spike has the item complete, no item complete. Camille goes for a tower dive, gets the kill. That's how big these items are. So Rumble, by the way, has 17, nearly 1800 gold in his pocket. So probably would be wanting to go back pretty soon. But the enemy team looking for a big play. Ekko going to be doing a bit of a dive, but you can see one thing the Rumble has got going for him is, yes, you can get stunned by Ekko W, but as long as you put your flamethrower on before you get stunned, the flamethrower continues. That just continues while you're stunned. You've already pressed the ability, so Rumble just staying still, holding his flamethrower, makes the Ekko nearly die. So that's quite good defense, but obviously the Rift Herald does nearly take out the tower. Again, I'm personally still not a massive fan of Rift Herald. I just find it still, and I said it right when it got released, I just find it really cheesy. That, like, one thing that can basically nearly wipe out a tower when towers are supposed to be quite sturdy in the early game. It's like, oh, 12 minutes into the game or whatever, oh, my tower's dead. And you could be, especially I'd say in top lane where it's an isolated lane, you've just been 1v1ing, one jungler decides, gonna get Rift Herald, gonna go top lane, and it just breaks the lane. You're like, oh, okay, we were kind of in a close stalemate, the matchup was really close, neither of us can get to the tower, and now my tower's gone. I'm just not a massive fan of that. I just don't think it's great. Anyway, Dragon, by the way, is spawning pretty soon within the minute, so I would expect Red Team not to give this away for free. Rumble just chilling in the river makes me a bit, I don't know, was he waiting for a gank potential? Ekko going to go aggressive on the Rumble, probably Vision in the area. Nidalee, though, around, so Ekko will back out. Nice auto attack by Nidalee with the Night Harvester proc, I guess. And yeah, Night Harvester is the option that both Rumble and Nidalee have gone for. Again, to clarify what Night Harvester does. Damaging a champion deals an additional amount of damage, and you get movement speed for that amount of time. So for Rumble, movement speed is quite important to make sure you can stay on top of people, to flamethrow them. And that initial damage, again, it can affect all 5 targets individually. So if they all walk in your ultimate, they'll all additionally be taking the Night Harvester damage. Red team, though, does take the dragon before blue can even respond. Kha'Zix's trying to get away, and he will do just that. Ekko, however, staying in mid lane and does break the mid. So again, breaking mid tower, quite an important thing. It opens up the map. This Ekko has roamed a little bit, but also has stayed mid quite a bit as well, obviously to break the tower with the Rift Herald help. But now that will most likely open up the Ekko to roam even more, because it's harder to push in the lane when you're missing that tower, because the lane is naturally going to be just further back into Red's territory. So it gives him more time to roam, that it's not going to be pushed up in his mid tower all the time. So Rumble probably wants level 11 before I would expect another big fight or a potential aggression play by him. Because level 11 obviously power spikes with champions that are very... Well, I wouldn't call Rumble an ultimate reliant champion. He can do things without it, but his ultimate is so strong that if you're very close to the next level power spike, so level 6, obviously getting the ultimate, level 11, upgrading it, level 16, its maximum form. If you're level 10, I'd probably wait till level 11. If you're level 15, I'd probably wait till level 16 before you take big fights. Meanwhile, Rumble going to do his best. He probably should just ult, I was about to say, ult the Alistair, make sure you get that kill, then see if he can get the Kha'Zix, and he can. Ekko is following him, and he will just walk away, does the Rumble. So nice roam by the Rumble. He will pick up a double kill, which makes his KD positive. He possibly is thinking about trying to kill this Draven, I will say. Wouldn't surprise me too much, because in a pure 1v1, you'd be surprised how much damage this Rumble will deal right now. And yeah, Drakthar, by the way, for Kha'Zix and a Draven. It does seem that Drakthar is still one of the most controversial mythic items that people aren't a big fan of. People, it seems, that aren't a big fan of giving stealth to champions that shouldn't have stealth. Meanwhile, he notices he's getting attacked by minions while waiting in a bush, so there is vision in that bush. I doubt the Rumble will overstay now. Tier 2 boots, question mark, is what I'd expect for the Rumble. Again, movement speed is very important for the character, because in order to do your flamethrower damage, you need to stay on top of people. And yeah, tier 2 boots and a Seekers. So Seeker's not bad, you know, apart from Ekko, the 3 major other champions in the game, Draven, Kha'Zix, Riven, all AD-based champions, so that is not a bad pickup at all. Never mind, he actually changes his mind. He sold the Seekers to go for an Amp Tome and a Stopwatch. Why the hell did he do that? So it's still obviously Zhonya's based. That's the item he wants next. Meanwhile, they're nearly trying to get a kill. Camille teleporting in. Rumble ultimate questionable. And they will just go burn baby burn. Exhaust from the Rumble. But that is why the Rumble did go for the Stopwatch. Is maybe he was expecting a next big team fight. And the Stopwatch obviously helped the Rumble maybe survive. I think he's probably going to die though any second. Unless he can do anything miraculous. He does flash at the perfect time, which will get him away. Now Riven arguably is overextended. Can they get her? She is jumping into the base. Again, names like that, what that Riven has, by the way, quite questionable names. You know, usually I will say, and she's going to end up dead, usually just the big long number chain names are bought accounts or boosting accounts that they're just going to sell. Because again, when you're not tying your account to any type of summoner name and, you know, you just have numbers, you're losing kind of the identity of the account. And the reason for that is because it might not be their account, or they're not looking to hold on that account for a long time. Again, not 100% saying the Riven is doing that, but that is just a typical thing that you see when there's just a number chain as a summoner name. So Rumble, continuing mid, isn't going to overextend because he's probably still quite scared about getting ganked or being just engaged on by the Ekko. The game right now, though, pretty close. Blue team still has the advantage. Only, I think, 1 tower is dead so far this game, and that is the mid tower. It's the only one dead. And the kills are even. The gold lead is still in the blue team's favor. So they, you know, do have to be a bit careful about that. But just based by comp, by the way, where would I give this game? I would, even though, yes, I technically know that the outcome, but logically, I would give potentially the win just by comp to red team. A lot is what I mentioned earlier, is the blue team is very unbalanced when it comes to damage types based on their range. So, you know, if you've got some range champions, you've got some melee champions. If the melee champions get CC'd, or they get, like, put in AoE damage like a Rumble ultimate, they can't do much. But at least then you have ranged, like, decent amount of range damage to fall back on. Where obviously, red team don't really have that. So the Camille ultimate's coming through, does catch the Ekko, the ultimate, but is going to end up dead. Rampage for the Rumble. But yeah, blue team has a lot more options. And obviously worth noting that, you know, Rumble is technically a melee champion and he could get countered by the other melees. But Rumble, that's where he thrives, is having people in melee range on top of his both flamethrower and his ultimate. So I think it's just a big thing for Rumble in that way. And obviously red team has a lot more damage range types. They will get the kill. Rumble ultimate is going to stop the enemy team in their tracks going anywhere near the Dragon Pit. Rumble is getting Lulu ulted. Rumble will get the kill on Alistar. Lulu's in trouble and now will end up dead from the Camille, who absolutely annihilated that Kha'Zix. Baron might be the play right now. But yeah, so obviously Nidalee is both ranged and melee. Lulu is ranged. It even has Polymorph CC that could impact champions like Kha'Zix or Ekko really badly. It could stop an Ekko ultimating if she times it well enough. And also worth also noting Camille. Like, Camille is just insanely strong right now, so you have that advantage. You also have a Draven, who is doing okay, but he's going to start falling off compared to a Vayne. So, and I don't think he got far enough ahead to warrant the pick so far. So this is where I would just give the game advantage to red team if they play it well. Where could blue team get this win, by the way? I think blue team's advantage is probably picks. You've got a Kha'Zix, you've got an Ekko, two insanely big assassin champions. So looking for picks. And that obviously isn't always the best strategy, because if red team just go, okay, they need picks to win this game, let's just basically group up permanently, then what are they going to do? It's not like, you know, they've got an Ekko like stun, but it's predictable, or you can see it happening. It's not like blue team have that big Rumble ultimate that's just going to annihilate them when they're stacking up. Like, they don't have that. Meanwhile, Nidalee does get the kill on Riven alongside the Camille. Ekko's going down, though. Is going to potentially get himself a 2v1. Don't think he meant to do that, Zhonya's, if I'm honest. And Nidalee will end up dead. Rumble ultimate coming over the top. Alistar engaging. The Kha'Zix as well in the area. Ignite coming down by the Rumble. This is the point. Big damage fight happening. Will end up dead from the Ekko. Draven coming in. You can see the Draven just isn't doing enough damage. His damage is falling off compared to mid to late game champions. And that will be an advantageous fight for red. With only Alistar surviving the whole thing. Meanwhile, both bot lane, you know, the Draven couldn't kill the Lulu. But yeah, bot lane and mid lane surviving for red team. Now they finally get another tower, so the tower advantage is now shifted to red team. And with that, also the gold advantage has shifted too. So 3,000 to 4,000 gold lead now for red team. You have arguably more late game scaling. Again, Rumble, by the way, has got his thingy complete. Riven looking for a very questionable return and dead. Like, that's how much Rumble can do damage-wise. The Riven's just simply dead. That's a lot of damage. So how is Rumble dealing so far with everything? Well, for a champion that got behind early, he's dealing pretty well. The damage is still incredibly high. This guy likes doing these little taunts, doesn't he? He's going for a flank ultimate. He's ignoring the team in front of him so far. Was looking for the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix does get away just. I would say not the best ultimates this game. I would say not like fantastic, but they've been okay. Camille going for her own flank, and that's a dead Draven, and now that's probably the base being opened up. But yeah, high damage from Rumble. Like, you can't hide away from that at all. And again, why Zhonya's? Again, Zhonya's is there against the enemy team comp. Does get another kill, does the Rumble. Enemy team comp's a lot of AD, but also if they do go for that pick, like they do go for that all-in that you wouldn't expect it, well, Rumble can just press that Zhonya's with his flamethrower and deal damage, or be in his own ultimate, stand on his own ultimate in Zhonya's, and just be like, okay, I'm just going to survive for a bit longer while you're taking all of this AoE damage. So it's just a natural item to get on Rumble. Alistar looking for a play, seeing what he can do, which again might get the Rumble killed, but the team is in the area trying to back up the Rumble now. Damage coming through from Rumble. Draven in the area trying to get the pick off if he can on the Nidalee. Doesn't look likely. Rumble ultimate turning around the fight. We can't even see most of the Rumble ultimate, but he will get the Draven. And with that, that is most likely going to be game. They haven't based. Rumble is currently holding 3,500 gold. And the enemy team keep respawning and just dying. So this does even show that the red team could be much stronger. And there it is. There's the all-in attempt from the blue team to go for the Rumble. He Zhonya's is the big burst damage. He's going to try and make his way out. He's going to keep running. Camille now is making it. Ekko is desperate for the kill. Riven going to go all in, has her ultimate. Ekko getting one more kill. Damage return coming through, though. Ekko is going to try and run away. Does get speared. Will get a double kill for the Diddley. And again, this is literally what's happening. This shows such a big strength difference between the teams. If I pause it before the game potentially ends, nearly 2,000 gold. Over 2,000 gold. 3.6 thousand gold. They could get so much stronger if they based. And the enemy team has, what, respawned 2, some of them even 3 times in this whole instance, and still not won a fight. It just shows how big of a difference there is between these comps. 10,000 basic gold lead roughly now for red team. Rumble is deciding to go back now. Is going to be buying himself a... Would it be a, yeah, demonic, was that what it's called? Yeah, demonic embrace. So basically a Leandries for the champions that aren't buying a Leandries. So that's a pretty good purchase for Rumble. Also buying himself a needlessly large rod. That will definitely be for a death cap if the game lasts long enough. But now they have broken 2 inhibitors in that whole time. Dragon has spawned, which is infernal. They already have the first one, so they're going to get the second. And what I'd likely see is whoever hasn't based yet will probably go back and base. Then they'll just probably group bot lane. You have the pressure from mid and top. Go bot lane, get the tier 1 down there, get the tier 2, and then go for the inhibitor down there that you'll either just get the inhib because the enemy team are going to be busy with super minions, or the enemy team will be like, we have to fight them before super minions overload our base. Let's just fight them. And I just don't see blue team winning that fight anymore. Or at all. And that's what is looking likely that is happening. Again, it's the logic thing to happen. When you've got pressure in 2 lanes of super minions, go to the lane that is free. Because the enemy team, in theory, should be way too busy to deal with all of it at the same time. They either have to split themselves, well, they do have to split themselves, basically, and then you're in a outnumbered situation if you, as red team, all go bot lane. So everyone's making their way here. Blue team may want to fight right now, by the way. The furthest point away from their own base. That's possible. The Rumble ultimate, again, not the best ultimate. Ekko looking for a re-engage. Draven being engaged on by the Camille. Camille's going to go for him. Look at that damage that Camille can do, by the way. Absolutely mental. Vayne will get the kill on the thingy. Rumble just walking through the enemy team. Gets the kill on Draven and now is looking for the Ekko. So that is, again, most likely game at this point. 12-14 is the Rumble. Is that how he finishes the game? Very likely. And yeah, so the blue team felt like they had to fight then, because if they left it too long, there would have been all these super minions in the base, with then also the enemy team here. It would have been a bad situation anyway. So they went for the last Hail Mary, let's go for the fight, and it just didn't work out. But there we go. That is Rumble mid. Seems pretty damn strong to me. High damage, but obviously has those weaknesses of lack of mobility. So does Rumble mid work perfectly all the time? No. It worked this game because the enemy comp was not very good. They were all the kind of same champion that had to group up into AoE fire damage. If Rumble mid is against something like a Xerath or a Vel'Koz that can keep a range advantage, that's where Rumble is probably going to be a little bit worse. But in this instance, worked very well. But that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.